Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the 5th inductee for season 2025, supported by Sundancer Homes, and thank you, from the Albury Tigers, Daniel Maher.
Daniel Maher's career started at former Ovens and Murray club Benalla, with another Hall of Famer, Tony Pasquale, being one of his early coaches. A runner-up finish in the Goulburn Valley League's Morrison Medal in 2002 and a short stint in the Waffle playing for Perth had Maher on the radar of multiple Ovens and Murray clubs. In 2006, he joined Albury and won the club's best and fairest in his first season. But some hard yards were required to be done before the Tigers became a powerhouse by the end of the decade. The silky skilled left footer was at his peak when the flags began to flow from 2009. He was best on ground in the 2010 Grand Final win, with the victory made extra special, with his brother Josh joining him at Albury and also becoming a premiership player. Maher completed the flag hat-trick as a player in 2011 before he and Danny Stevens assumed the coaching reins. His debut season as coach was cut short by a serious knee injury and Albury's flag run being halted by fierce rival Yarrawonga. The Tigers also lost to Yarrawonga in the 2012 and 2013 Grand Finals before Maher tasted success as a coach for the first time in 2014. Maher matched his 3 successive flags as a player with 3 flags on the trot as coach, with further victories in 2015 and 2016 over Lavington. He co-coached for 5 years and had a winning percentage of 87.1%, a feat bettered only by another Ovens and Murray Hall of Famer and Tiger co-coach Chris Hyde. Maher called time on his Ovens and Murray career at the end of 2016, just one short of his 200 match milestone with the Tigers, but there were no regrets. Daniel Maher, a fine player of the game with multiple premierships as a player and as a coach to his name, is a standout inductee into the Ovens and Murray Hall of Fame.
What a remarkable record. I was going to mention this later, but I thought it was a good opinion to share earlier. Paul Spargo said to me the other day that not only is Daniel a good person and a good bloke, but he'll go down in the annals of the Albury Tigers as one of the best ever football players stroke coaches. But above all, he's a good bloke, and I want to talk a little bit about that as we go. So a couple of best and fairest at Benalla. You played TAC Cup footy.
I did, mate, but firstly, Sparks, that doesn't sit well with me, so I thank him for those kind words, but yeah, I'm surprised he didn't say shit-house punter, because that's usually one of the things he does say to most of the time.
I've had a couple of other comments but later.
Yeah, no, so yeah, a couple of being at Benalla in my early years, under Pass, which was fantastic, tutors under Pass himself and then Brent Cooper, he was a good Wodonga player at the time. Yeah, so it was...
So you headed over to Perth for a couple of years?
I did, yes.
I know lots of clubs were interested in luring you back here, but you ended up at the Tigers, so tell us a little bit about how that came about.
I did, and I just want to say, Ocker, with Jake Kowski offering you 10k, I missed out on that bonus. So Jake always brings it up every time I was catch up with him, we thought we had you. But no, Albury Footy Club, I had a connection through Kane Gav Schultz. From the early days when I was still at Benalla, Gav used to call, he was involved with, when Hodgie was coaching, Albury at the time, we just give the general phone call in about January, what do you reckon, which you consider coming up the Ovens and Murray. And at that stage I was settled with Benalla, I was doing an apprenticeship. And then from that, over in WA itself, we decided to move home. I had 2 young kids and thought, let's move back towards Benalla, but not being in Benalla because most people know Benalla, the best part of Benalla was the footy club and then the whole way out of the place. So we just wanted to move somewhere that was a bit bigger and a big country town. No disrespect, Shorty and Emmy, thank you for coming guys as well. I do love you like, but yes, so Albury was a huge fit for us, and obviously like what I've been able to create with the playing group and the club itself, you know, is a testament to not me, but the footy club, and I've just been a part of it. I'm just going on for the ride.
So is it true that when they recruited you, and I'll use the word flashy forward, winger, but Sparks said no, down the back line, we need to toughen you up a bit, discipline a bit?
Yeah, he'd say that, yeah. He pretty much, when Sparks got on board, Luke played me inside, which I love Luke for that, as an outside mid, as they call him now. You don't get touched, you get Luke Carroll do all the work, and you feed off the back of that. And then, yeah, when Sparks came on board, he said, we'll play you down back and try and use your skills. And I said, mate, I've done probably 10 years of senior footy and I've never spoiled and I've never tackled it. He said, me play, put me forward on a wing. And he said, no, I'll treat you down the back half. So, yeah, and sure enough, I've been lucky enough to have some memories.
So, as a player, flags in 2009, 10, 11, and then you followed up against Fev, 12 and 13. But I'm interested, you then became co-coach, as the video said, with Danny Stevens and then Sean Daly, where you had successes, a three-peat in 14, 15 and 16. So I'm just interested that you're not an introvert, but you're quite a sort of a person, and I guess Sean might have been the bad guy and you might have been the good guy as a coach. How did it come about?
Heidi's in there too, Heidi's in the mix of that too. So, yeah, Steve and I spent 5 years, when Luke was coaching Albury, in 2007, I spoke about being an assistant coach and learning to know my craft and things like that. So Luke gave me the opportunity to get involved with our coaching side of it, and then obviously once Sparks came on board in 2009, that role still was available, and we jumped at that also. And to learn off those two guys, like Luke obviously was still being a player coach format was unbelievable. Then Paul with his credentials and knowledge of the game was, you know, for me, I'm a footy tragic as such, so I was a big sponge with that, and I certainly respect Paul and I'm grateful for the opportunity with that. And then to co-coach with Steve, who I knew previously through the Golden Valley, that was a great honour to lead the footy club. And then, you know, circumstances changed. Heidi comes on board, we had great success, we had great friendship. I used to play basketball. I always bring this up with him, but we used to play squad basketball against each other. He was Baruga or somewhere, and we used to belt the shit out of him. It was so good to see him. He went on and had a illustrious career, not only at Ovens and Maher in the AFL, but for us, we had a friendship pre-footy, I suppose, and knowledge to each other, and that. And then, yeah, when Shawnee came on board, well, Shawnee was a ringmaster. He really stepped it up with the accountancy kind of thing, and he was firm, and he was direct, and I loved it. And our group loved it, and we all responded really well to it. So it was a great mix of my time as coaching with the three guys.
I was chairman at the time, and I've got some interesting memories of 12 and 13, but your time against and I talked to Chris about this last year and to Craig Edney, that it was pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, it was. It certainly was. That was, and like from everyone in the room, you talk about the good old days. That's my good old days. That era of about 6 or 7 years was unbelievable footy. The standard was really high. The intensity was through the roof, and you know, if you didn't bring your effort and you didn't want to win the footy at the coalface as such, you know, you get shown up. You get shown up by a very, very good football team in the club in Yarrawonga, and we just had to keep rising to it. And from our perspective, we appreciated the Yarrawonga Footy Club, and I think it was like retrospect for them as well. So it was a great time in footy, and I'm sure the Ovens and Maher really have certainly off the back of the coattails of that have run with it. So.
During those halcyon days, Ross Reed and Cole Joss reminded me the other day that I want to take you back to 2016. Rugged, nuggety half-back, and you signed up with Hayley Gelvin in the Dancing for the Stars. Tell us about that.
Oh, I don't have to say much. There's a YouTube clip, no doubt, of it around, and there's a TikTok sensation. But no, it was all, yeah. Yeah, good on you. Thanks, Cole. Thank you very much for reading. Good on you guys. I didn't know where you were going. Yeah, it was all in support of the Cancer Centre, and it was an opportunity to certainly not put myself out there, but to create a bit of noise within the footy circles and raise a bit of money. And look, it wasn't great on the night, but we raised some money and got some exposure for the Cancer Centre, and that was the real win out of it. So not my dancing.
Well, I think what I'm trying to do is just sharing with people that there's a bit more to Dan.
Yeah, there's a bit more than this, certainly. That's about
So you're back at when you finished it all, you headed off and did some other things.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, following my brother out in Humley to Murray Magpies. He deserted me after 12 months, and then I got a good mate of mine, Tomo, on board. He did another 12 months and he flipped himself. So I was had one last year by myself there. No, look, it was a great experience to play under Josh. I was lucky enough, Josh played Flags with my brother, which was a huge honour for me and, you know, a memory that I'll always treasure. But then it was just more the fact my footy at Albury and the Ovens and Murray, I probably burnt myself out. I was booked at 35, I think it was. So then the opportunity arose to go and play with Josh, and yeah, it was close to home, travel-wise, etc. So yeah.
But back at the Tigers now, and your children, some played footy and girls have played netball.
Yeah, correct.
Back at the Tigers.
Back at the Tigers the last 3 or 4 years now, just involved runner first of all, which was a slow runner, and then now up in the box helping out the new coaches with some of their formats and game plans and things, and learning new scenarios and words, I suppose, with this new age.
Fantastic, giving a bit back. It's very interesting talking and some great responses there, Daniel, so I'll now hand over to you to give your thanks.
Firstly, I understand too, guys, that it's been a long night for everyone, so I just want to make this short and we can really crack on and get downstairs and have a couple of beers, hopefully. But firstly, congratulations to the other inductees for this evening. Not only your contribution to your clubs itself, but obviously it shows tonight that the league you're held in your own, and I appreciate myself being on the stage with guys here. And yeah, congratulations on that. To the Steve Norman, or to Carl and his family, on behalf of Steve, congratulations on the elevation. It's a huge testament. I'm sure you're very proud, mate, and knowing you personally, you'll get up here and crack a few gags like Ocker, hopefully, and carry on for the night. But yeah, congratulations to your family. What a great achievement. To the committee, the Hall of Fame committee, to Ron and his crew, thank you very much for this recognition. It really does mean a lot to me. It's very humbling, but it's also I find it very awkward standing here talking. I spoke to a few of the guys earlier. Very awkward talking to. I'd love to talk about my teammates in the group and our footy we've played and, you know, the memories we shared together. But getting up here and trying to put myself under a couple of bright lights, it's really awkward. I'm nervous with this, so please stay with me. My mum and dad, certainly we've had a big influence on us 3 boys. We've had 3 boys growing up who were super competitive, which I think 2 of us still hold that trait now, and it's weekly for Josh and I. So I appreciate what you guys have done for us. The sacrifices we make as players, footballers itself, and then for your training, your support, like your management, your fitness, your rehab, then to go into coaching, then you've got, you know, that's probably 3 or 4 days a week. To then take on the coaching role, it becomes a 7-day program. So with that, like they do say, family comes first, but at times family does take a back seat. So I'd just like to acknowledge the kids' mum, Jess, and what she did throughout that football for me, and the kids especially. The coaches that throughout my career was touched on earlier with Pass, Brenton Cooper, Stan Magro in WA, Luke, Carroll and Sparks have been enormous in my footy development and still are today, so thank you. And also coaching alongside, as I said before, Steve O'Heidi and Sean really gave me it was beneficial for me to be involved with those guys, probably more so than them, so thank you boys. To my teammates, my respect for you guys will never waver. I appreciate what I've been able to create with you, and for you guys, this is the reason why I'm standing up here, so I really want to say thank you to you guys that made the effort tonight. I appreciate what you've done for that. Holding me to high standards, things like that I've written down here, definitely was more beneficial for me, and I love the moments. I loved our training, I loved our games. You know, we had a couple of rough years there, but we certainly saddled back up in 14, 15, 16, and the year we had in 14, we'll never forget the grip we had and what we got put through. So to the Albury Footy Club, the heartbeat of the footy club, which sits on table 10, I thank you guys immensely for not only giving to our football club yourselves, your time, etc., but also to me personally and my family. Kyle and Paul, Joss, and the Joss family, I don't really have a lot of, I could go on all night about you guys, but I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, not from a business perspective or a football perspective, but just from a personal level. I really do appreciate what you guys have done for me, and I hope you have a really good night tonight, and I thank you for coming, mate. Reedy, you're another one, mate. You've been there from day one. You're a thorn in everyone's arse a lot of the times, but, and tonight it shows, it sticks me, but I appreciate what you've done, mate, and I love the fact that we've had that banter, we have that separation with footy, with our NFL talk and NBA and stuff, so thank you, mate. To Erin, my fiancée, we've still written a couple of things here. When we first, I don't want to go too much, but when we first got together, I snapped my Achilles, and football, I wasn't playing football at all, sorry. And the biggest takeaway for the first 6 weeks was from Ez, and even from family members, was, is he going to walk like a gimp for the rest of his life? You know, like, what's with his leg? Why is he so gimpy and tall? So Ez, I thank you. You understood after probably 6 weeks with my injury that I was out of footy, not doing anything, and it drove you crazy. So for you giving me my Saturdays back and you having a free day to yourself and understanding what the role footy plays in my life, I thank you for that. And lastly, just to the kids, Pacer and Codes, thank you guys for everything you've done for me. You won't understand it until you probably hopefully one day get to do it with your kids, that You go to the footy, you win a game of footy, your kids run up to you, it's the best day of your life. You lose a game of footy, your kids run up to you, it's still the best day of your life. You know, our grand finals we went through, the photos we've got with you guys getting dressed up, Pace, when you did the 100 metre dash down to see Setzi for his 100, that was one of my greatest moments in footy. But I get the chance now to sit back from the back seat and watch you guys grow, and I really do appreciate it. I'm so grateful to have you guys through that football career at the Albury Footy Club, so thank you. Lastly, I'll probably be rambling a bit, but I just want to say thanks again. I hope everyone enjoys their night, and cheers.
Another bad resume. 6 premierships, 3 as a player, 3 as a playing coach, representing New South Wales, best on ground in the 2010 grand final win. There's not much that he hasn't done, and as his teammates and all the officials said, he's just an all-round good bloke and a boy from Benalla, which is also fantastic. So congratulations, Daniel, and we hope to see more of you in the future.